Hi, it's Joy, and today I'm going to be watching How to Get Away with Murder, Season 6, Episode 12, Let's Hurt Him, which is not a good title. Let's not hurt him, unless him is a bad person that I don't like. I don't know, I'm just really stressed already by this show, but I'm so excited to watch more. Let's go. Okay, Connor, I love you. Please be okay.
Just got back from the FBI. Why are we at the FBI? Because I saw who killed. Oh, used to live in Ashland.
I'm stressed. I don't like seeing Connor alone. Why are the headlights behind him? Please just give me being paranoid.
So they killed a guy informing against her.
I'm too stressed already. Okay, please. It's just a car behind him and we're both being paranoid, right? Because you'd be paranoid right now and the car's going to drive past him and all's fine.
Don't say anything.
The house is bugged. I mean, they've got cameras themselves, but there may also be a bug. That car is driving slowly if it's just a random car. Connor, I love you, okay? It's just going to drive straight past him because it's nothing to do with him. Yeah. And we're all being paranoid, right? Please say we're all being paranoid. I don't blame him for being paranoid, because I'm also paranoid.
I say we go until you get to King's Landing and are prepared to sack the Red Keep.
English, please.
Game of Thrones.
Annalise, you've been under house arrest. You should be binging your TV.
I'm not going to suspend your client's house arrest.
Just extradited from Mexico.
Then it's a good thing my office is in Central City.
Exactly.
Miss Keating.
The court agrees to expand Miss Keating's house arrest to include capital.
It is a reasonable request.
Of intent today
Oh dear.
to make this a capital murder case
What?
and pursue the death penalty against Miss
Your
Keating.
Honor, this is prosecutorial misconduct.
The defendant is being charged with the murders of Assistant
The
District
death
Attorney
penalty is not
Emily
something I
Sinclair
agree with,
and
but
federal
His intention to pursue the death penalty is noted and so carried. Court
just
dismissed.
how could you ever pursue the death penalty? I know that I guess they want it so that then they'll be intimidated into taking a deal or a trial. I don't know, that maybe they won't find her guilty of that, but they'll find her guilty enough for it. I don't know. Stress. They're being told.
That was my lawyer. She says the government.
I was tailed on my run last night. What?
Stop.
Please say it's
Black
not real.
SUV, probably the FBI.
No, it's just how paranoia works. Your mind
I
is
really,
making
really
things
need to
up.
be paranoid,
Or the
okay?
FBI heard they killed Asher, and now they want to do the same to Annalise.
Connor, I know it's quarantine right now, but
We
hop on the
signed a
first
deal
flight
with
to the
the
UK. I will hide
devil.
you.
Governor.
She doesn't have control over a federal case.
Why doesn't Frank
I'll
just
get
go and
this
kill
thrown
the
out,
governor? He's
Annalise.
killed enough people.
Even better, I'll
That
use it
wasn't
to prove
serious.
that your
Her
conspiracy.
name is Vivian.
Oh, hell no.
That is an accurate
Can't drop off
response.
most. Who killed that boy?
Is she going to Annalise because she wants her to help protect Gabriel?
Gabe's aunt knew him.
What?
My aunt.
What?
Sam has an older sister, Hannah.
Oh yeah.
She grew up knowing Frank's family.
Oh, so that's how they were connected.
Not a good person for you.
She's
to know,
really
baby.
not. Let's
It's
keep
not
Hannah
a
out
decision
of
for you
this.
to make.
I ran away.
Please don't get Hannah involved. I don't need to see her again.
Asher's, for example. Wouldn't the charges against me and Connor have to be dropped? We'd go free, no time served at all, right? Sorry.
Yes, get away with murder. Not that either of them have murdered
Why
anyone.
would the
Exactly, but you know who can?
Annalise.
or Bonnie?
You! The two smartest almost lawyers I know.
Hi, yes, my stress levels are extraordinarily high right now. What are you doing, Frank? You look very shifty. Oh, you're tailing the FBI agent. So, is she an FBI agent or is she working with Xavier and the Castillos and that's how she's involved and the FBI is actually not guilty? Which at least would mean that they were under slightly less danger unless she decides to kill more people. She's doing a drop with Xavier Castillo, yeah? Because you don't sit down for... Yes, that's him. So she's... Oh, but it's the FBI working with Xavier Castillo. We still don't know whether the FBI is involved because they could be working with him against Annalise for some reason. Okay, let's hurt him. Okay, but him can be him. I mean, I'd rather not hurt anyone, but yes.
Yeah, somebody better too.
He's got the gloves on.
Xavier, me.
Whoa. Whoa, why
Good
was he out
timing,
there
too.
without any security or anything?
Polly dropped him a plane ticket and passport.
Whoa.
Trust me.
I don't think we're
Trust
going
me
to trust you.
and
You're
tell me where you
murdery.
are.
Well, he's also kind of
Honest,
murdery, but...
that's something you need to see.
Frank.
Frank?
Just her.
Do we try... I mean,
If you want
it
you.
seems obvious that this is just a simple conspiracy if he turns an agent, but what if the
I
whole
know you
FBI
like
is
the
working
money.
with him because the governor is, or...
Lord will tell you.
The Mahoney money?
How does everyone know everything?
I know you got it in you to do it again.
I wouldn't try and antagonize him right now.
Nothing. But I guess I'll just have to take that out on you.
Why? Look, don't look all like... Ugh. Oh my god, like, what did you think he was going to do?
To buy into a conspiracy theory.
The conspiracy
I
here
could
is
buy
you
this
trying to
guy's
execute
conspiracy.
my
I
client.
don't think it's
Now,
as
that'll
simple
be
as
up to a
Xavier on
jury.
his own.
No pressure.
He's working with the governor at least, right?
What? Let the dragon out. What does she do? And that always the question with her?
Yes.
Far think that almost half of those murdered are black, even though we represent only 13% of the population. The Fed's case against me is based solely on the testimony of informants. Witnesses who are willing to let their lies,
I mean,
who
she
see
is
their
very
racism,
compelling.
and if they continue to kill innocent people in the name of the
And
law,
I mean, I'm so anti the death
then we will
penalty.
have no
I will stay back for a few questions. One each.
Oh, I would be scared of a knock at the door.
It's not going to.
Oh, he might.
He really
Guess who's
might.
getting charged with another thing I didn't do?
So accurate. Oh dear.
He just wants to.
Worried about whether the man you love loves you back.
And still, I mean, I kind of like their relationship. I think they're both very murdery, so they go well together. But I also think that maybe they both could do with someone a bit healthier. For both of their sakes, even for Frank's.
It's Frank.
I mean, I don't see this being the best way to get cooperation out of someone.
I had to be the guy for her. I'm not. I'm okay with that. Because I found someone
Quite a
who knows
mature
me.
development for Frank.
The monster too, and she loves me.
Yes.
Stop wasting your breath.
Oh dear.
Is it true?
Yes.
At least
To
he's
protect
honest.
you. It took me a long time to get up from under it.
I doubt it in
is
your
why I
case,
slept
mate.
with your mother.
That is a weird way to bond with your daughter. And it's nice that he wants her.
I'll
But
give him that.
My paranoia.
He's a venture capital billionaire. You don't get that rich without knowing how to cheat and lie.
And then Annalise dies because Michaela and I lied on the stand.
what do you do?
Debating about whether or not we adopt or get a surrogate. Vacationing up north.
This show has to end with them
Or
having a
being Amalfi
children,
Coast, does
please.
that make it more palatable?
No. This is the
okay with
diplomacy song, actually, isn't it? I knew I recognised it. Jack Flaherty's song. I can't lose you. I can't lose him either, okay?
You don't seem too bothered with your romantic interests.
What?
You expect me to believe you're not into Annalise?
She's
We're
not
preparing for a
currently
murder
aware
trial.
of how
No one's
into
thinking about
Annalise she
who
is.
likes
Who you have a thing for.
Is he doing
Annalise
this?
needs to know that.
Danielle, get security to
Is he
escort
working for the
Robert
other
out of
side
the
so he can
building.
get her removed as
Now.
Annalise's lawyer because for admitting that she likes Annalise? That looked a bit like the car that was following Connor.
Have some
Was
else
it
to be
Nate?
shady.
You found Zay testify for me, not against me.
Are they gonna let Nate kill him?
Then I'll
Who
go.
do you hate more? Me or the man who killed your father?
Me, Nate. Oh dear, is he actually here? Because I'm kind of not okay with murder. Nate killed the wrong person once, but oh my god, he's got his gun.
Tell me, why would you
He
deserve
wants a
that?
confession.
Say it for the record.
I mean,
Xavier
he's
Castillo,
very like.
Did you order the hit?
This wouldn't. I
And
mean,
Nathaniel
he's
Lacey,
tied
yeah.
up under threat of death.
You got
You'd
any
say,
address here?
sure, yeah. Like, it's not
None
gonna.
of this will be admissible in court.
Exactly.
No, I had my time with the gang.
I wouldn't leave him alone.
you were Laurel.
Tell Annalise that you're snitching on her.
What are you talking
She
about?
knows.
You gotta deal with the
Did you hear that, FBI? Gabriel thinks that Agent...
I know what to do.
Oliver takes
Oh,
a poker
God.
to his head.
No. Connor.
But our fathers aren't gonna like it.
Oh my god, are they gonna break their deal?
Partner in a professional way, of course.
Oh, now it's weird.
I'll call you back.
Are they here to tell her that they want to break the deal, or work with her, or?
Good news?
Because we know how you can win.
Wait, her name is Denise Pollock, and she was Asher's handler. He killed him, I swear.
Why wouldn't you stop?
Oh my god, this is so. I feel bad for Gabriel, but
I already know that.
Well, then, why
can
haven't
use the
you
tape of
used it?
Gabriel.
Forced Gabriel...
That's what I taught you to be. Cowards who throw innocent people under the bus.
kind
Throw
of.
Nate under the bus after saying
Yeah.
For you, and God knows I'm still paying for it.
But they are doing the same thing for
recording can get
you.
your whole case dropped.
Who will testify to all of my other charges.
Mhm. She knows it's you.
They want to kill you. And they might.
They don't want that.
That's why we're here.
Because they care.
We wouldn't be able to live with ourselves if that happened.
Plus, you were out of the country when they made the deal.
We're sorry.
People do things when they're in that pure terror and they can't see any way out of it. And then it's different when you have
Really,
time to
we're sorry.
reflect. That was a really brave thing to say. To actually say you're sorry. I love
This is a
Connor.
special session in the matter of
I'm
United
so
States versus
anxious.
Annalise Keating. It is a
Frank should be watching them, make sure. Never thought I'd want Frank to supervise.
So that's what I'm...
Cheating, discredit her win at the Supreme Court. There's gotta be more.
mean, that's what we thought, but is there more?
Our system reserves the death penalty for people
what's he
who
gonna tell
destroy
us?
lives for the...
I'll tell you whatever you want.
Does that
Regardless, she
mean
contacted
it's
you
true?
first. Yeah, I swear. Burkett called every shot.
This
I
is
mean,
a malicious prosecution.
he's saying what you want to
rooted
hear.
in
Is it
hatred for how Miss
true?
Keating has been risked a chance of Miss Keating messing with the
So
status quo.
anxious.
The FBI...
It was Burkett's call.
You would say that.
She wanted to prove that.
Mate, he's gonna kill him.
If you want, just please tell me that.
He's. Oh, I mean, I don't want him to kill him, but the Miller situation. Okay, good. Good.
Forced Gabriel to testify.
And put Gabriel's life at risk.
This recording
Oh,
can get your
goodness.
death penalty charge.
Our deal, we won't have to testify against you. Everyone wins.
Surely, if you say like the FBI
What
killed one
evidence do
informant,
you have
they wouldn't
to
want to kill
support
another
your
one.
claim that Mr. Millstone's murder was
she gonna
committed
do
in
it?
order to frame your claim?
I have evidence. Come clean. You're the informant. Admit it.
Oh my god. She's recorded them. Yep, she's turning the tails on them.
Admit that you agreed to tell.
Everyone wins.
These voices belong to Connor Walsh and Michaela Pratt. They claim that the FBI murdered Asher Millstone in order to coerce
So
them
she's
into
not using
testifying
Gabriel, but
against
she's
me.
using them.
We don't know if this recording.
Do you need more proof?
What's the
Talk to
repercussions
Agent
of this going to
Langford.
be?
He was their handler. I can give you their numbers myself.
Oh gosh, what's going to happen? Did she approve this with them? Or are they going to be blindsided and not know what to say? Oh gosh.
Good, you're home. Look more at my office.
Oh dear.
Do we need to cuff you?
Is this a plan? Please be a plan. Because if they're in on the plan, then they can, you know, help it succeed.
Nobody's dying on my watch. I can promise you that.
No, you can't.
Know how I can?
I'd be happy if these two ended up together.
Because they're... I'm saying it because of how you see yourself. Voice to every victim of the justice system. It's your legacy.
Although the recording we heard suggests a serious failure within the Department of Justice. Ms. Montez, we therefore recommend an internal review of how any immunity deal was reached.
Oh goodness.
What this committee can
Does this mean that
decide
means in the long run
is
we're
whether
gonna
or
get
not
away
the
with it?
U.S. government that it may not.
Good.
The death penalty is
Definitely
officially off the
good.
table.
Whew. But I'm so scared of what's going to happen next. Like the sort of FBI government-y, Castillo-y, governor-y, what are they going to do?
Because I took care of it.
You changed your mind and killed him, Nate. I was all proud of you.
I agree. So let's hurt him.
Let's hurt him. Okay.
What did you do?
What do you think he did? You left him alone with the man that helped authorize his father's murder. I need to know what's happening next with the kids.
I know who started the war against you. And it wasn't the FBI or
Hannah.
the governor.
It was Hannah.
So you don't know.
Know what?
What happened with her and Sam?
What happened with her and Sam? Don't end there with a random cliffhanger that I didn't want about Hannah, but now I do want, because I do want to know what happened next. So this show continues to have its twists and turns, and you never know where the plot's going to take you next, and I still love it a lot. I really enjoy this episode kind of being Annalise getting, like, you know, a firm footing, kind of being a bit more back to being on the attack, back to being fully the Annalise we know and love. Obviously, with the fact that me watching the show, I'm like, Connor, as long as Connor's okay, I'm okay. I'm like, let him be okay. But at the same time, you know, assuming that they didn't know that she was going to play, I mean, they didn't know, I don't think that she was recording them. But at the same time, when they were pushed with their backs up against the wall, they turned on her. So her using a recording of them back, like, I don't feel like, how dare Annalise, you know? I'm kind of like, oh, I didn't see that coming. But, you know, it totally makes sense. And in the same way, it doesn't incriminate them. Or put them in direct, I mean, it maybe puts them in danger, but hell, they're already in danger, depending on who's bad, and anyone wrapped up in this is in danger. But that was a really good twist, because I was kind of thinking, was she going to use a Gabriel thing? And I was kind of feeling like maybe she should, but I was hoping that maybe if they, you know, televised, like, we have a witness against the FBI, that maybe if it was like a publicised thing, then they couldn't kill him, because if they killed him, then it would be really obvious or something. I thought that maybe that would be how she'd find a way to protect him. And I do feel like eventually Gabriel would need to testify that she did it to prove part of the conspiracy, especially if you want to try and say that the FBI and the governor did it so that the case against Annalise, you know, so that they could turn Connor and Michaela, so that Annalise would have another murder tied to her. But it's a lot, and we still don't know what that bit at the end with Wes or Christopher was last season. That has not come into play yet. But yeah, that's a lot. So yeah, Annalise, I really enjoyed it. I like that Connor said I'm sorry, that they both kind of apologised, because it is true that no one knows how you're going to act when you've been arrested, when, you know, Connor was having panic attacks and not being, you know, and he was worrying, but what if this is the worst panic attack he'd had? What if it was something more serious? And, you know, he, like, Oliver was trying to confess to things. Like, it was a very tense situation. And, you know, when you're facing life in prison, we'd all like to think that there is no circumstance where we would ever turn on anyone else. But there isn't, and especially, I mean, we never know, and especially when they were told that Annalise had fled the country, which she had done. You know, Annalise was offering to her life of anonymity, which maybe was leaving them all behind to suffer the consequences. So had she successfully gone and got her new life and abandoned them all, it would, their immunity deal, they'd have never been called on to testify against her, so it would have been fine. So I don't hold that against them in any way, shape or form. I also think that, you know, the fact that they look out for each other is really important. It shows you that, you know, they have always had each other's backs. You know, they've had arguments with each other, especially in season 1 a lot. But they have been so. Whereas Annalise, another thing to remember is in season 1, Michaela and Connor drove to the police station and were going to confess, and Annalise stopped them. Also that night, Annalise is the one that told Wes, take the body to the woods, cut it up, do this. So that, you know, Annalise instructed them on how to dispose of the body instead of call the police and turn yourselves in. Like, you know, so Annalise has been involved from the very beginning. Now, I fully do not blame her. Again, like, I'm not someone that's going to be like, Annalise should go to prison. I think they should all get away with it. I think this is, I mean, in real life, maybe they should all go to prison. But with this show, you kind of think that Sam was a bad man, you know. The people that are currently alive and in the show are the most innocent in terms of the kids. I mean, Asher killed the DA, and, like, that was no. I mean, I know he was angry, but just no. She didn't even murder his dad. She just released accurate information about him being corrupt. So, I mean, in terms of the kids, as much as I loved Asher and I would have wanted him to get to live and be better than this, he was the one that, without even being involved in any of the murder conspiracies, just casually added to the murder count. So in a way, he's like the most guilty of the kids. Because even Wes, when he killed Sam, was doing it because Sam was strangling Rebecca. So in that sense, that I don't think any of the ones, like, I mean, that have been arrested, so Connor, Michaela, Annalise, deserve prison or deserve, you know, to have their lives ruined by everything that's happened. They are kind of the most innocent, especially when you think of Connor. So in the first season, he kind of ended up there. He did what Annalise instructed Wes to tell them to do. He wanted to go to the police. Annalise stopped them. Season 2, Annalise tried to get them all to shoot her, and, like, you know, they threatened that they'd rat them out for Sam if they didn't help cover up Asher's murder. So again, that wasn't Connor. Like, they're basically, they don't deserve prison, and I am supporting them. So yeah, Oliver, of course, also doesn't deserve prison, but, you know, he's not currently being arrested. So I'm very stressed about what that's going to do for them. I'm hoping that at worst it will just invalidate their deal, which will then mean they don't have them to testify against Annalise. Now that could mean that they could then throw them in as co-defendants. You know, they could maybe be like, oh, well, you know, they've technically confessed, or they can try and, like, pin it all on them as well, which would be worse for them in the short term, but maybe in the long run means we can get everyone off without any jail time, because, you know, ideally we don't want them to have any jail time. Gabriel is still going to be an important factor because he is a witness. He saw her, and, you know, not coming forward because you're scared of the FBI is a perfect. If I was a juror and I heard someone being like, oh yeah, the FBI, I was scared to come forward because it was an agent, I would be like, I accept that that is valid. I wouldn't, I mean, there'd have to be other evidence, but, you know, that would be someone that I would believe, especially if you find out that, you know, supposedly the defendant killed his dad, you know. So, I don't know, it's all ramping up a lot in terms of that, and I really don't know where it's going to go next. I really hope that car that was following Connor was literally not following Connor, it was just someone driving slowly down the street. I think that's all it was, but I'm still like, I just can't be safe. Just fly to England. But he and Oliver are still everything to me. But Kayla and her dad, I don't like her father. I think he's very manipulative and scheming, and I think Michaela definitely has that sort of ruthless streak in her that he has, but at the same time I do worry that if helping her suddenly became not in his best interest, I could see him throwing her under the bus. You know, I don't, maybe if he'd been in it for longer, I'd have more of a feeling for him. Maybe I'd like him more. But, you know, whereas as much as, you know, Connor has issues with his dad, from what we've seen, you know, his dad would want to protect him. Michaela's dad wasn't in her life and isn't even publicly acknowledged as her father. And so maybe if it was going to get out that his daughter was a murderer and it was going to tank his stocks, or I don't know, he might dump, you know, be like, oh, I disowned my child, like she was never mine or whatever, you know. And, you know, still sleeping with a witness because you're trying to get away from another relationship, or sleeping with a client or whatever. I can't remember the relationship her mother was. that is just messed up. And you know, it's not something that's defendable. Now you can be like, that was a huge mistake I made, but you are like the blessing that came out of it. You know, I'm glad that he kind of told her that he's glad she exists, but I don't trust him. I also don't trust him to not throw Connor under the bus if it were to help Michaela. I think it's good that Michaela keeps stipulating that Connor is protected too. Hopefully that will shield him from her dad. I just think, I don't know, like, I'm very stressed about everyone in particular. I like that maybe they've apologised to Annalise and admitted it. Annalise has turned on them in a sense because, you know, they came to her to try and help, and then she turned that on its head and used it against them. So maybe they're kind of at more of an equal footing now, so they could work together going forwards to, I mean, there'll still be a lot of those tensions and things, but they can work together to try and solve this, to try and get away with it. And you know, it's the final season, we've only got a few episodes left, let's pray they get away with it. Also, we had the stuff with Tegan and being in love with Annalise. Now, we knew, that is not old news for the rest of us, but for Tegan, I think she had been probably aware of it under the surface, but she'd been like, I don't really feel it, I'm under control. Now it's been pointed out to her. She is so aware of how in love she is with Annalise. And I don't know, is he Charlie? Is that his name? Robert. The man, you know what I mean. He, from the moment he's been in it, I've been like, can we trust him? Is he a plant? Is he trying to, you know, like anyone that's a new character that shows an interest in any of them, like if Michaela, if some random person suddenly turned up and tried to date Michaela, I'd be like, what, who are you? You know, I find him very suspicious. And maybe he does genuinely just have Annalise's best interest at heart. Or maybe he's someone that wants to try and get evidence that Tegan's in love with her, so that when they're about to go to trial, they can throw a wrench and be like, her lawyer has got a conflict of interest, let's cancel the lawyering. My brain is not working today. But it was just, again, so good with the twists and turns. And obviously you had Xavier Castillo, and leaving Nate alone with him was not a good idea. I mean, we saw that from Miller, who he, you know, murdered. I know Bonnie finished him off, but, you know, he murdered him. And I know the plan was to let Nate do whatever he wanted, and so then when Frank was like, what did you do? Well, like, you were okay with him doing that? And, you know, he would have been someone that, if we could trust him, would have been someone that would have been quite reliable to maybe go and to testify. And even if they didn't get the right suspect, to at the very least testify to the conspiracy against Annalise. Now he's dead. And, you know, someone, I mean, that's another body count in Annalise's corner. I mean, like she said, obviously Annalise is under house arrest. I don't think they would say that but they think that she's, you know, got minions that she orders to do murders, instead of her just cleaning up murders that will spiral from murders. You know, this show is a mess. I love it. So is there evidence there of who did it, of what happened to them? I mean, he's the, I guess he's the CEO of their company and everything, with all its shady dealings now because the dad's in prison. So, you know, there's a lot of stuff going on there. That how are they going to get out of this one? And that's more enemies they've created, or are they going to be able to just hide his body and cover it up, or make it look like the FBI did it? And I'm intrigued about whether what he said was true, whether it is the governor through the Castillos to the FBI. So the governor has people in the FBI that she then handed to the Castillos. Like, they are all working hand in hand. But is this Langford guy, is he truly just a hard-working FBI agent who has seen all of these murders and thinks he's going after the right person? Or is he part of the conspiracy too? Because, you know, it could just be his underling, and then the DA looks like she's in on it, or the lawyer, prosecutor, whatever she is. But this show, I love it so much. I am so thankful for it. I am dreading the end because I don't know how I'm going to take it anxiety-wise. I love that they played one of Jack Flaherty's songs, the diplomacy songs in the background of that Colliver scene. That was brilliant. I was like, well, this watching it, I was thinking, I recognise this. And then it hit me what it was. It was brilliant. So yeah, this was a brilliant episode as always. And I am so stressed for next week. But can it also be next week, please? So yeah, thank you for watching.